What's up, guys? Welcome back to GoldClassGaming, and today I'm here with an updated PK Orcust deck profile. The new ban list, I say new, even though it's a couple weeks old now. They took out Summon Sorcerers and the Phantom Knight rank up card, which are two key parts of the old Orcust combo where they'd Azathoth you and all that stuff. But there's, with Dark Neostorm and the addition of Orcust Crescendo and Dingirsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star or something. I don't know, the Xyz monster. This deck has actually gotten a kind of solid power boost despite the nerf it got from the ban list. And not everyone can afford Dangers, which it looks like is the go-to engine right now because it's Dangers. So I'm looking at a more, I say budget-friendly, it's still a little pricey, but a more budget-friendly version of Orcust with the Phantom Knight engine and some other engines and cards to substitute the lack of having Dangers. But the combos are still just as potent, just as powerful, and you can end with some really crazy 3/4 negates or interruptions, I should say. Yeah, there's some really strong boards. Without further ado, let's hop right into the deck profile. All right, before I hop in, I just want to say one last thing though, which is if you guys like this mat, you guys can get it over at ImperiumDuelist.com, and you can use my code GoldClass10 for a discount on your order. Also really helps me out. But now we will finally start with the deck profile. So first, we're going to start with our 3 Orcust Harpour. This is super standard for the deck. It's probably the best card in this. Next up is a Symbol Skeleton. But so these two combined are going to summon out of your deck as well as summon out of your graveyard. They're basically going to help you first of all get plays going and then also recycle them, and then even extend them into your opponent's turn. If you have the Orcust field spell up, you can even use their effects during your opponent's turn to set up even more stuff. Then keeping it going with our Orcust lineup, you have 2 Orcust Nightmare. Also a great card, absolutely part of your combo. Playing 2 because you don't want to draw, but at the same time, if you draw it, your combo's over. So you need to have multiple copies. So if you draw one, you still have the other. But at the same time, you don't max out because you aren't really trying to draw it. You're just making sure you have at least always one copy in your deck. Then you have 3. Ibli, probably the best normal summon in your deck, because obviously you can link this directly into your Nightmare Mermaid, which is the whole combo starter of the entire deck. You go right into Nightmare Mermaid, as well as also this can chain block Nightmare Mermaid, which can stop them from ashing it, which comes up occasionally. I think not occasionally, a lot. So being stopping them from ashing Mermaid means he'll help you get somewhere and stall for a little bit. He's go a little bit further than if they just ash Mermaid immediately, and your combo is kind of over, and your turn is kind of over. But yeah, I think obviously once again best normal summon. Let you skip the Nightmare Link 2s and go right into Mermaid. Next up, you have 1 World Legacy World Wand. This card is once again very key to a lot of combos in this deck. Only playing 1 because it's not horrible if you draw it. Obviously, if you open it, you can just discard it off of Mermaid. That's essentially the same thing. And it actually doesn't really change anything, I don't think. But yeah, so you can, it's not obviously you don't want to draw it because without other combo starters, it's kind of useless. But at the same time, you can just use it as your discard for Mermaid, and your combo will continue business as usual. Then we have 3 Neospace Connector to go with our Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Once again, this is another one of those just it's 2 monsters for 1, kind of thing. You normal connector, and then they'll bring an Aqua Dolphin, and then you show boom, link to the Phoenix or Cerberus, link out into Mermaid, combo starts from there. It's just one of those cards. This deck's all about just making Nightmare Mermaid. It means either normal summoning Ibli or getting 2 monsters on the field in some way with your normal summon, or without burning too many resources. So, Connector is great because he just summons 2 monsters. He's 2 monsters for 1. In the same vein of 2 monsters for 1, we have our 1 copy of Phantom Skyblaster. Obviously, it's at 1 now, but still, it's still a great normal summon. You once again summon it, token. Because keep in mind, even if he is the only monster you control when you summon him, he will still summon 1 token, which is useful to start your entire combo. But also later on in the duel, if you control 2, if you already control 2 or 3 monsters, when you summon him, he'll give you 2 or 3 tokens. So it can really help you push for game at later times in the duel. Maybe we can just normal him and then make a Boral Sword Dragon and then really start going in for a lot of damage. Then you have our Phantom Knight Silent Boots to go with our Ancient Cloak. This is for our PK engine. these are the 2 standard PK monsters. Not sure I have to explain a lot more about that one. And then to finish off our monster lineup, we have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I want to make sure I put Hand Trap somewhere in here, just because it's always good to have them. Ash is the only hand trap you are playing in the main deck, because I needed the other slots to really put in some more engine cards and couldn't quite fit in permanence. But Ash is still, obviously still a great hand trap. It'll be very useful for going second versus basically any deck. Striker, Solomon Great, Orcust, Thunder, basically the entire meta and even Rogue, Ashes will hit him really hard. And then now moving on to our spell lineup, we have 3 copies of Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage to go with 1 copy of Hornet Drones. Once again, 2 monsters for 1 card. You play Kagari in your extra deck, and then at turns your Drones token into Kagari as well as a second Drones token, which you can then link into Phoenix and Mermaid combo started. Also Engage says draw a card, so it's good. It's like if I play Engage and Hornet Drones, or play Sign Up Mining to search Ibly, but mining requires you to discard a card, and Engage says draw 1. So, you kind of weigh the odds there. Works out in Engage's favor. Then you have 3 copies of Called by the Grave, because I like it when my combos go through. I really like being able to stop every hand trap in the game except for impermanence. Yeah, so Call the Grave, it's explanatory. Also good against Sky Striker, because you can hit their 1 Kagari in graveyard, stop them from being able to recycle it. Good for Solomon Great. You can hit Spinning Gazelle. Once again, it's also just a good counterplay. Like aside from being able to help your combos go through, very good for counterplay. You draw going first, just set that card. There's your 17th negation, I guess, off your combo, and then you can then hit Spinny, Gazelle, Kagari, anything else they want to send to graveyard. Overtext Coatlas, I guess. Actually, in the mirror match, you can hit basically anything, because before they activate the field spell, they aren't spell speed 2 effects. So they just they use their they all banish their cost. So it's literally just they send Harpour off of Orcust Nightmare, and you're like, on resolution, Call by the Grave, Harpour, turn stops. Wow. But next up, we have all of our 1-ups. We have our Babel. It's only play 1 because Galatea searches it, and Galatea is basically made every turn in a good deck. Orcust return, because it says draw 2. Once again, Galatea can search it. So if your hand's kind of bricky, but you can get to Galatea, you can use her effect to set this card out of your deck, and obviously activate it immediately. Discard any card you need, whether it's a Harpour, a Nightmare, or a World Wand, and draw 2. And then hope you draw into your whatever you need. Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn, pretty solid card. Also, just good for combos. Sometimes you can get a little stuck, and just being able to just revive something pretty fast helps out. Also taking your opponent's stuff, pretty good. Reinforcement of the Army. This is our 4th copy of Neospace Connector, because he's a warrior, and this can search him. And then Forced Burial, because this entire deck has effects in the graveyard, so being able to just dump it to the graveyard, once again, very useful. Just starting your, if you just start the turn with like a starter and Foolish Burial, being able to do your whole combo, then Foolish Burial like a World Wand, and then being able to push even further, very, very useful. And for our trap cards, I'm playing 2 Crescendo. I see most lists play 1. I decided to play 2 because it's not horrible to draw this card at the same time. For the most part, Galatea will be setting your field spell, but occasionally you can go the whole distance and get Fog Blades and Crescendo. But they only play 1 just so Galatea can search it. At the same time, you can't recover this card. I don't think. Is that something crazy? I don't think so. This deck doesn't have a Sunlight Wolf, so you can't just add back the same card constantly. So having 2 is after you use the first one, just having the second one just to either search out or draw, hey, here's my other negation, negate and banish. That's a good effect. I want more of those in my deck. Then we have our 3 copies of the Phantom Knight's Fog Blade. This is negations, and this is obviously just part of your combo, just negate. And lastly, Phantom Knight, Shade Brigandine. Only one, because it's not going to come up in your primary combo like it did in the old build with Azathoth, but it's still there, because then if you draw one of your Fog Blades, like obviously playing if you play three Fog Blades and you draw one of them, you still set two and then set the third one. But like my point is, if you ever need that extra help to get going, maybe you're hand shot or whatever, Brigandine, you obviously sacrifice a Fog Blade for Brigandine, but you help your combo go all the way through to the end. If the main deck, it is 40 cards. I've seen a lot of lists play 45. I think it's kind of dumb because you just minimize you worsen consistency, and I'm not sure what I would want to add in my deck to make it 45 cards. To at the same time, minimize my. I want to have the highest chance possible of opening Connector or Ibly. End of story. So I'm not gonna play 45 cards. So onto the extra deck. Here we're gonna start out with two copies of Dingirsu, because he is good. Once again, some people have only playing one, but a lot of people are playing two, and I think that's definitely the right play here, because obviously, once again, stuff can happen to him. You may not always get him back, but also it's just good to have a second one, because I never like having a main combo card in my extra deck, or a main win card in my extra deck just be a one of, and then I risk losing it, and then I'm just done. So I think 2 is definitely good, but not 3, because it's not that essential as like Galatea, for example. Then onto our Link monsters, we have Boral Sword Dragon for those turn 2, turn 3 OTK plays. Once you whittle down their points a little bit, you can go to that Boral Sword and finish them off. Then for our Link 3s, you have Nightmare Unicorn for removal, Rusty for our combos, and then Longirsu for also combos. And then for our Link 2s, we have 3 copies of Galatea for starters, because she's the best. 1 copy of Underclock Taker, so he's a Dark Link 2, so he'll come up in combos a lot, where you want to send your Dingirsu to the graveyard, and you need something to link into, and underclocks your thing, because it's a dark monster. And then we have some more nightmares with Phoenix and Cerberus. And for our Link 1s, we have Mermaid, Link Spider, and Gagari. I already explained why Gagari's in there. I should explain Link Spider. The token you get off of Sky Blaster is a normal monster, and you can link that off into Link Spider to make it an effect monster to help you climb into a Boral Sword Dragon. That simple. Yeah, so that's it for the extra deck. And I will now head off to show you guys a combo that this deck can do. All right, the combo I'm going to be showing today is a 2-card combo involving Neo Space Connector and our Orcust Harpor. So to start, we're going to normal summon Neo Space Connector and use his effect to summon Aqua Dolphin out of our deck. Now we're going to link off Aqua Dolphin and Connector for Nightmare Phoenix. Then we're going to immediately link off Phoenix for Nightmare Mermaid. Then we're going to use the effect of Mermaid to discard our Orcust Harpor to summon Orcust Nightmare out of our deck. Then we're going to link off Nightmare and Mermaid into Galatea. Then we can use the effect of Harpor in our graveyard to banish itself to summon Orcust Symbol Skeleton out of our deck. Now using the effect of Galatea, we can put Harpor back in our deck to set Orcust Babel and then activate it immediately. Now we're going to link off Symbol Skeleton and Galatea for the Phantom Knight of Rusty Bardic. Now make sure you put Rusty in your far right, in the right extra monster zone if you're going first, because his positioning will matter later on in the combo, and I'll explain it later. Then we're going to use the effect of Orcust Symbol Skeleton to banish itself to revive Galatea. And then we're going to use the first effect of Rusty to send our Ancient Cloak to the graveyard to set our first copy of the Phantom Knight's Fog Blade. Then we're going to banish Cloak from our graveyard to add Silent Boots from our deck to our hand. And since we can control a Phantom Knight monster, we can summon Boots directly from our hand to the field. And now we're going to use the effect of Orcust Nightmare to banish itself to send World Legacy World Wand from our deck of the graveyard. And now we're going to use the effect of World Wand to banish itself and summon our Orcust Nightmare from our banished zone. Now we're going to overlay Dingirsu on top of Galatea. Then when he is summoned, his effect will trigger, which will attach our banished symbol skeleton to it as an Exil's material. Now we're going to link off these 3 monsters for our Dingirsu. And we're going to put him in Rusty's left zone, so that way he is pointing towards the other extra monster zone. Now we're going to banish Silent Boots from our graveyard to add our second Fog Blade from our deck to our hand, and then we're going to set that. And now we essentially, this is basically the end of our turn. Now we have our 2 Fog Blades set as negations. During their turn, Dingirsu can use his quick effect to put 2 banished machines back in our deck to send a linked monster to the graveyard. And since he points to the opposing extra monster zone, that will always be a linked monster. So the second your opponent attempts to summon out of the extra deck, you can send it to the graveyard. And also, since we have the Babble up as a quick effect, during our opponent's turn, we can use our quick effect to banish Symbol Skeleton, which will put our second Dark Machine, we'll put our second banished machine monster, which will make Dingirsu's effect live. You can use that to revive Dingirsu to Rusty's zone. Now, at this point, 2 effects will activate. Rusty's effect will activate. Since a Dark Exil's monster was summoned to our field, he will destroy 1 card in the field. And since Dingirsu was special summoned, he can send one of our opponent's cards to the graveyard. Send one card our opponent goes to the graveyard. So just that effect will allow us to pop 2 cards on their field and set up Dingirsu to send their linked extra deck send their monster in the extra deck monster zone to the graveyard. Keep in mind that is non-destruction removal. All of that is on top of our 2 Fog Blades as more monster negations. Anyway, that is it for this deck, this whole deck profile and combo. If you guys liked it, be sure to drop a like and comment down below. It really helps me out. If you guys want to see more of my content, please subscribe. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.